Goalie's the same, defensemen are the same, and forwards Thompson won't be back before the break. We brought White up, so White's going to take Thompson's spot.
What's the word that you're getting from Belleville on Colin?
He was injured, and it took him a while to get back, first of all, and then it took him a while to get his timing. And recently he's up and down, and recently a bit more consistent, and has shown some good stuff. So he was the one at that moment that looked like he deserved it. So we're going to try to manage him as best we can. We're playing the best team in the league. The one thing is we got last change, so going to try to have him play against players he'll be able to manage. If we say it like it is, Tampa's third line could be most teams' first or even second line on some good teams. So I think in that respect we have to be smart and try to give him the ice time that he can manage and see where he can take it from there.
Why is Craig starting? Typically, you guys alter.
No, we didn't typically. Condo played 2 in a row the other day. We had Andy play 2 in a row before in the season. So this year there was no typical. I think it was more of a feel, and it was more of a. That's why I never say before the back-to-backs who's going to play in the second game, because it depends on the previous game and how they feel. And so we won a big game yesterday. I thought he played great in the third period, and it gave us a chance to win. We want to draw on his game also from against Tampa, where he played very well, and yesterday's game, and we're home, and I want him in the net.
What else did your team do right against Tampa when you were there a couple of weeks ago?
Well, we first of all we had 60 minutes and the overtime of I think total team commitment and great work ethic. We know they got tremendous speed. They got it's the team with the most skill in the league. They've been building this team for many years now, and I think they looked at winning the cup last year, and they're hungry this year, trying to rebound from last year, which they are doing very well. And when you look at, they basically have all smart hockey players that manage the puck extremely well, and almost nobody has that. Toronto is probably one of those teams that's the closest to that. That's hard to manage, because you could do well for a little while, but all of a sudden, those teams wear you down. And I thought we did a great job of not being worn down when we were in Tampa. And whenever they got some momentum with the puck, because that's what they do very well in the offensive zone and all that, then you start to run around, and then they kill you. And I thought we didn't run around against them. We were able to manage our defensive zone well, to try to limit what they could do. And I thought we did a good job in the neutral zone, trying to prevent their underneath speed to come and hurt us. But were we perfect? Certainly not. They're a great team, and they got great speed, great puck management. But having said all that, when you look at the portrait of their team, their goalie is playing .930 something. So that's a gigantic part of why they're able to have such freedom and confidence with their offense, and because they know that even if they do make mistakes, the goalie's going to back them up, and that gives them a lot of confidence to go on offense, which makes them a major threat. Yeah.
Ease them into it, like I know when you're facing a good team, you're not going to try to.
Exactly. So anytime you don't want to expose a kid like that, and you want to let him, chew what he can chew, and if he does well, you give him a bit more, and then if you can give him more, it's great. The good thing is we're at home, and obviously, right now is going to be. I've got 3 lines that I don't want to touch right now. I've finally got 3 lines that I like, and that we basically had when we played Montreal and New York Rangers, and then before we lost Smitty and even Tampa, Smitty was there, was those 3 lines. So those ones I don't want to touch, and so that's where right now he's going to have to fit with Dumont and Burrows, and he can play wing and center. And I know Dumont last year took all the big face-offs for Tampa, so I think they're going to alternate in terms of face-offs, but hopefully we're able to match our fourth line against their fourth line. Since we're at home, I'm going to have that luxury, which I would not have have on the road, which makes it tough, obviously, to bring in a young guy and trying to make him confident when you're on the road. And if the other team wants to expose those guys, they do, which we try to do also sometimes. But I think at home today, it's a great opportunity because I'm able to match against the guys and you might get caught out there against some top lines, Stamkos and Kucherov, because you sometimes get caught in the line switch. But right now he's going to have to come in and give us the minutes that he can. And for me, I'm definitely managing my expectations and just letting him try to grasp what he can grasp, and we'll go from there.
How bad? You said Nate Thompson not before the break, so is he going on IR then?
No.
And is it was he battling something before yesterday, or is it happening?
A little nagging thing that became more than nagging right off the bat. So, yeah, that's it's too bad because we need him. We need him in the lineup, and not having him, of course, he's kind of an anchor on the fourth line, and he can play with our third line also. So he can log lots of important minutes, and he's a big face-off guy. So obviously we're going to miss him, but hopefully we miss him only for the next 3 games, and then he comes back. I think he'll be able to come back right after the break.
Same progression, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Progression for Mark Borowiecki, coach.
Yeah, it's everything's moving in a positive way for sure. But in the end, he hasn't played practice much in a long time. So, if we're smart and careful here, I'm not sure even if he would be ready, let's say, to play the last game before the break. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do right now. I think it's not just about is he healthy. He hasn't played for so long. You want to get the timing, you want to get the shape, you want to get everything because he wasn't able to train at all for a long time. So throwing somebody in there is not necessarily, even though you like him, is not necessarily the right thing to do to help himself and the team. So we'll try to be cautious about that one, I think.
Only just one practice, right? Monday.
Yeah, exactly. There's only one practice Monday and a morning skate, and then we get a back-to-back. So that's really not a lot for a guy to have to. But the one thing is positive is it's clear right now it's going very well. There hasn't been any setback. So that's good for us. Very good for us.